Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shooter's Insight. This is a new thing that we'll be doing on the channel from time to time, where essentially it's going to be a sit-down interview. We're going to start off with your hosts. Just going to talk about all things wrestling. And if you saw when we first started the channel, if you checked our social media on Instagram, we did this on our Facebook page, but this is going to be a little bit more in depth, I guess. And we're going to shoot the shit a little bit. That's all it is. So, our first guest is Fan Blanco Tylor from your fellow host. How are you doing?
I'm doing mighty fine for a Thursday. Bleep that and put whatever day we put it out.
For a day. All right.
No, doing wonderful.
Good. So let's just get right down into it. So how did you discover wrestling? How did you get into watching wrestling?
So easy answer, right? My grandpa Ben, from when I was a kid, he loved wrestling. You know, that was just the thing to do every Monday night, Thursday night, and Friday night. That was just what it was, right? So somehow we would always go fishing on the weekends. Mm-hmm. And so I would end up at his house and he'd take me to school Thursday, then Friday, and then as soon as I got off school, we went to the campground. And every other day I was there, it was all wrestling. So 3 days out of the week, if not more on the weekends, I was watching wrestling. Notably, some of his favorite wrestlers was he liked Sean the Heartbreak Kid. He loved him for a lot. And then my grandma, his ex-wife, she was just the biggest fan of Taker. Just loved Taker. I was like, I don't get it. You know, Taker's like a good-looking dude. I get it, but like, man, like why? The way she was, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, just fell in love as a kid. I loved wrestling. I watched basically from like, not from when I was born, but I'd say pretty close. I'd say maybe 2 and on.
Okay.
Not to my recollection of what I remember, but
yeah,
I was always around.
You were always watching it.
I had all the games. Well, not all the games, but like from SmackDown 2000 or SmackDown versus Raw, that era, I had those like 4 games every year for Christmas.
Gotcha.
The one thing I wanted, I didn't want nothing else.
SmackDown Raw, they're great games.
I still have them on PS2.
Nice.
Yeah. I have duplicates actually.
You have duplicates?
I do.
Would multiple members of your family get you the same game?
No, I think I just acquired them because I was like, I can't pass up this game.
Okay.
Just the nostalgia. I think I have 2 2006s and then 2 2008s.
2008 when I played.
When they brought ECW into it.
Yeah, because that's around.
Or was it 06? I don't know.
No, it was 2008.
Because it was Cena, Lesnar, and then RVD on the cover.
Nope. It was.
It was the ECW rip.
It was Taker, Cena, Bobby Lashley.
Taker, Cena, Bobby Lashley.
Yeah,
okay.
Because that's when I started watching wrestling, and it's SmackDown vs. Raw featuring ECW. So, but that I understand the want for all those games. They're fun and
those were the best, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Funny enough, when you started, it was about the time I fell out of it. Okay. My just life was going on, and I didn't watch TV ever after like a certain point in my life.
Yeah.
So.
So growing up in essentially like wrestling every weekend, watching with your
every week,
and then with people who were big fans, what wrestlers did you like gravitate to and like sort of come up like liking? And
watching? Yeah, easy. So Jeff Hardy has been one of my favorite wrestlers till I die. Mm-hmm. I remember being in elementary school and we had some like contest where we got to get a blank book and we got to illustrate and basically write out the story for this book.
Yeah. And
then they could publish it and you could get a copy of it. It was like $20-$30 or something like that. But yeah. I think it was 3rd grade. I wrote a story about how Jeff Hardy came and picked me up in a limo and took me to Toys R Us. I got a toy and I still have the book. I'll have to
Yeah.
bring it sometime. It's
Yeah.
honestly a cool thing because I did the whole story. I wrote the thing out. I drew all the pictures. I drew the cover. Shit was cool. But yeah, it was funny enough that whole book has the pink and blue hair. Jeff
Oh,
Hardy.
okay.
And it has the fishnets and
Fishnet armband. Yeah.
yeah. So Jeff Hardy till I die. I guess I gravitated a lot towards Rey Mysterio, obviously. Like
Yeah.
at that period of time, everybody talked about him. I feel like he was everywhere, especially in our community here in Omaha, you know?
Yeah.
Just Rey Mysterio was everywhere. And he was doing stuff at the time I feel like a lot of people weren't. You know, I feel like that time in WWE a lot of more people were just jacked beyond their minds and
Yes.
like that was the physique that people went after.
Mhm.
And like watching Rey Mysterio be the underdog all the time and still pull out matches, you just can't beat it, you know. I could say one for later in life, but as a kid, I mean, I always loved the Brothers of Destruction. I gravitated towards them immediately, and then Badass Taker, like
Yeah, American Badass Undertaker was.
I couldn't,
Yeah.
you know, like he was the fucking man. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
coming down on when the music would hit. Oh my goodness, there was just nothing. There was nothing better at the time.
Yeah, Taker was one of the wrestlers that got me gravitating to WWE wrestling, and then later on going back and watching the old stuff and watching Ministry of Darkness and American Badass and all that, which was kind of weird seeing it because it's like, you know, Ministry of Darkness makes total sense, but American Badass Undertaker was just like
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, it's like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand this.
Yeah, it was kick ass. That was one of my favorite like takers ever. I mean, you have your classics, of course, but
So we're jumping ahead.
Sure.
I'm going to kind of ask two questions because I feel like they're related. So with so you fell out of wrestling and then you came back to watching it.
Yep.
How did that happen? And when did you start figuring out more about the insight to wrestling, like all the inner workings, everything else?
Becoming a mark.
Becoming a mark. Yes.
So it wasn't until I started playing with, like, hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
I remember Roman, obviously, our good pal. What's his name? You know.
Yeah.
He introduced me to you guys, and they're like, "Oh, they play Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, they're all good guys. You should bring your deck over and let's play." I was like, sounds like a great time. Yeah. So I bring my busted bullshit ass deck compared to these guys. Oh man. So I'm not even gonna get into that. That's another story on its own. But anyway, that's where it started. You guys helped me find wrestling again.
Yeah.
Just for forcing me to sit down and watch it because I wanted to hang out with everyone.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's just like you find that nostalgia. You think of all that stuff back then that you're like, oh, like I loved this stuff. Like this is what I watched. This is who I imitated, idolized, you know, all that stuff. And then boom, it's back in your face and you see how these people age and what they're doing now or what their role is now. And it's just a whole nother world, you know? Now piggybacking that, finding the inner
working,
the inner magic.
Yeah, of wrestling.
So you want me to just give you the one that ruined it for me?
Sure.
So Jabrim.
Okay.
Jabrim ruined it for me, and he told me it would, and I told him it's cool, tell me. And I wish he never told me. He said, watch their eyes. Look, if they are looking at the ref, they're not kicking out. And I'm like, you motherfucker. So now I'm looking at it. Every time there's a pin, I'm like, okay, I know it's not, you know?
Yeah.
They're doing better at hiding it.
Yeah. Because I was going to say, it doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll be looking up and they're counting the pin.
I know.
Yeah.
But that ruined it for me. I was like, fuck. But no, just the behind the scenes and how they do it. I mean, WWE has always done a good job of, like, I guess the behind the scenes part, like when they had their subscription service.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like documentaries that would come out and they would show you all that back, like stuff that we didn't get to see, or like them walking into the arena, or you know what I mean, stuff like that. So not necessarily like how the shoot and stuff works, but like I'm learning more even now.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much to get into, and I don't want to spoil all the magic.
Yeah, because I would say the way I found out.
I'm telling you, man, that fucked me up.
It was So when I started watching, I was like 7th grade, and this is about a year later is when it's. So I didn't fully understand it, but I understood that wrestling was a work because I read the Jeff Hardy and the Hardy book that came out. They released the book, and I'm reading it, and I get to the part where they found out, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
I kind of understand, but I didn't fully understand, like, how bumps and all that worked and
It's
everything like that.
predetermined.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the main thing I understood is like, okay, it's predetermined. You're not trying to hurt anybody, and then that's all I understood. And then I got like later on, I got into like understanding how everything else worked.
Yeah. It wasn't until later on for me too. I mean, you guys taught me more than anything.
Yeah.
But just in general, I mean, I never thought of it as like an actor. You know what I mean? I always thought like I knew there was physicality to it. Like these dudes wouldn't be this big if there wasn't.
Right,
you know?
right. So 2 separate sides. You essentially took a break, and you're watching in different eras. So out of any of these eras, because it doesn't have to be right now, it could be before. Who was the guy that was like your random favorite guy, or just like this guy's like going back to it's like that guy was a jobber, that guy's not any good.
I got it.
And who was like that guy that you wanted, like that underdog that you wanted as champion that you never got to see?
That's fair. So immediately what comes to mind is my favorite random guy is Jimmy Wang Yang.
Jimmy Wang Yang.
Just random guy, you know?
Yeah.
But man, he had a heart of gold. I loved him. I loved him like a brother. I swear. I don't know why. He just had that like I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was the man for me for some reason. Every time he wrestled with Shannon Moore, yeah. Every time they'd come out, I'd be like, man, this is gonna be cool. Like they'd always have matches with Paul London and
Brian Kendrick.
Yeah. So yeah, Jimmy Wang, he was on my list at all times.
Yeah.
Person I wanted to win that didn't.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough. Because I feel like a lot of my favorites at the time were winning.
Yeah.
Like I really liked Randy. I liked when Randy separated from everybody and went and did his thing and became the legend killer.
Yeah. And again, I give you from like any era, like
that's fair. That's fair. It's tough.
Yeah. And it could be like at the time, and then eventually they won it.
It's still tough. Because like I like the like core people like Batista, Triple H.
Yeah.
I hated Brock Lesnar. I hated him with a passion because he came in and just tore house all the time.
You're right.
But you're like, well, who's gonna stop? You know. But I don't know who did I want to win that didn't or did later. That's tough. That's super tough.
So I'll give you my
yeah. I'd like to know because
so like for me, like I liked a lot of like the underrated wrestlers. Like I was also a fan of Jimmy Wang Yang. I liked Shannon Moore. I liked Nunzio. I liked Eugene. Like
I liked Eugene too. Yeah. I was a fan.
And there's a couple guys depending on like what year of wrestling I'm watching. Like Bobby Lashley. I always wanted Bobby Lashley to become WWE champion.
Yeah.
Wade Barrett was one. My old time guy that I always talk about that show won the WWE title was Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder won the WWE title because he was over, man. He was good. After like separating with Edge and going on his whole thing, like I really liked him. I didn't really understand the gimmick, but I liked him as a performer, as a wrestler, as everything.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's tough. I mean, you bring up Eugene.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever held a belt.
Tag titles with Regal.
That's right. That was a good tag team.
It was.
Like thinking of the just the knowledge between the two,
Yeah.
They could wrestle the whole locker room.
Exactly.
Saying that, I think Shelton Benjamin.
Shelton Benjamin's
he's
a big
an
one.
Animal.
Yes.
He's an animal.
He's incredible. Even to this day, he's still incredible, in incredible shape. And the man's like
He's so good.
over 40.
He's so good. His wrestling skills are unmatched. His bridge is one of the nicest bridge. Like the suplex bridge. Oh
Yeah.
my god. All the rope shit he did, you know,
Yeah.
like he was ahead of his time for sure.
He definitely was.
And I don't think he had very many belts or title runs even.
He had
Tag team.
He had tag team.
And maybe Intercontinental or United
he had
States.
United States. I don't remember if he had Intercontinental or not. And then he recently won tag team again.
But never.
But he's never. So that's I guess that's another one for me because I thought he feuded with Kofi, and I thought that was gonna lead to him winning the ECW title. He never did.
Shit.
So
I like Shelton Benjamin a lot.
Yeah.
I like when they talk to his mom all the time.
Yeah. All right, going back to it, you gotta tell the story. Let me ask the question: what race is Jimmy Wang Yang?
Okay, so look, I grew up in a very diverse, I guess, setting. I don't know how else to put it, but I always thought he was Caucasian. He was a cowboy. The name never rang a bell.
Yeah.
Looking back, he's definitely not Asian.
Yeah.
But in my eyes, it doesn't matter.
I just want to point out too this morning I sent in a video
to
our group chat about Jimmy Wang Yang. It's essentially his debut package where he literally says, "I'm not like your other Asians.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little redneck.
I'm a little red."
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was a super racist fucking promo.
It was.
Not him being racist, but being oppressed towards.
Yeah.
But if that was his promo package, I would not want to be known either.
Funny enough, that's the first time I've ever heard Jimmy Wang Yang talk. Was this video this morning?
Okay, so I always heard his yeehaws.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
His moonsault is one of the best, I think. That moonsault was insane because he would just run up the ropes, boom, and it was always perfect.
Yeah.
Listen, okay, don't get me wrong here. I'm glad, like, I'm on the other side of the foot, and I didn't just be like, well, I hate him because he's Asian. But I did not know he was Asian.
Yeah.
The hat was enough. He's American.
Yeah. And how old were you?
I was probably 8.
Yeah.
9. If that.
Yeah. All right.
I don't see color, man.
All right. Next up, what? Tell us about JBL.
Okay, so another one that I just am oblivious towards. I love Team APA. Like, I love them. I love Bradshaw. I love fucking what's his face. I can't think of his name. Ron Simmons. Yeah, that they're my dogs. Their clotheslines were out of this world. They were just two powerhouses that were like, all right, you're barking up the wrong tree. You know, like, you don't want to mess with these guys. Then some asshole comes out in a limo and fucking bells are ringing and stuff. I guess he hit the lottery or something. I forget how he became Jibble, but
yeah.
So this dude, I had no idea. Hated him because of the way he talked. He was just that typical, like, stereotype white person that you just don't want to be around. You know, I would say he was the equivalent of what a Trump supporter is now.
Yeah, fair.
But back then.
Yeah.
So I hated the guy. And then I stopped watching wrestling, never thought two thoughts about it. And then we're watching, I don't remember what we were watching, but we were watching something. And they're like, oh yeah, look, it's Team APA. And then that's JBL. And I'm like, no, it's not. That's not JBL. What are you talking about? And then so I go down the rabbit hole and everyone tells me that, you know, Bradshaw, JBL, it's all there.
And then with John Bradshaw.
Just laid out a map and here it is.
JBL. John Bradshaw Lakeview.
Listen, I didn't call him by his full name ever. Okay? He was JBL.
Yep.
Or that asshole.
Yep. I mean, he would say it in his promos.
And that was it.
Yeah.
I don't listen to him talk. I don't like the guy. Why would I listen to him talk? I was the guy in the crowd. What?
Fair. All right. Well, going into that, who's the, like, as a Mark watching it, who's the wrestler you had actual heat?
Actual heat?
Yeah, they were just like, I hate this guy.
Well,
I'm changing the channel. Who's that guy?
Oh, changing the channel.
Well, it doesn't have to be like that.
I never did that. I never did that. I'd sit through it and watch them just to hope that they lost.
Yeah.
But JBL was a big one for me. I
Okay.
he was that guy that, like, playing the games, he would always be the one that I kick their ass first.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, they if it was a 6-man tornado tag or whatever, he's getting pinned first. He's getting out of here. Other real heat, that's tough. I didn't like Kurt Angle in TNA for a long time.
Oh, really?
But that's because I was a big fan of Samoa Joe. I liked everyone he went against. But then I also had the mindset of, like, oh, well, he's a traitor from WWE going to TNA. You know, like, I had that mindset because that's kind of how they painted him at the beginning of TNA.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, he was too good for them, so he's going to come here and no one's going to beat him.
Yeah.
And that's just how he thought. And so he had that bad boy gimmick, and then AJ Styles going against him, and Abyss, and like all those characters. Yeah. It's just, I had real heat with him for a long time.
Okay.
But yeah, JBL's the first, guaranteed first one.
All right. Before we move on, any other anecdotes you want to share that you want to tell us? Any other, like, little tidbits, like the whole JBL, Jimmy Wang Yang thing that you might have?
Like that?
Yeah.
Those are the ones I always get asked about. So.
Yeah.
But what I'll do is I'll do some homework. I'll go over to my mom's and I'll find that book.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get a picture of it. It's cool. It's cool, man.
Yeah. We'll post it up when this video goes live.
Cool.
So
yeah, I'll do some homework. I'm sure my mom knows where it's at.
Okay. Well, so that was the past. Let's jump forward.
Okay.
What is who are some of your current, like, favorite wrestlers?
Current favorite?
Yeah.
Ever since I stumbled upon Kenny Omega,
okay,
he's a big favorite. I don't like the Young Bucks.
Okay.
But that's me being personal.
Okay.
I think like Cornette when it comes to the Bucks.
Gotcha.
But I feel I just feel like maybe not. Okay, let me take that back. Because I don't know what Cornette's all said about him, but
yeah,
I do think that they have the same moves all the time. I don't think that they switch it up enough. But they've made their career off of these specific moves. And so some people it works. For me, I like to see variety.
Okay.
Now today, I mean, mostly all we watch is AEW. It's tough to say about WWE.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, we watch TNA more than WWE, I think.
We do. We watch more Impact than we do WWE.
And we watched almost all AEW pay-per-views, thanks to Roman.
Yep.
And then the Ring of Honor ones, because that piggybacks.
Yeah.
AEW. Also Roman. So thank you, Roman.
And then we don't really get together to watch NWA or New Japan.
Yeah, we should though, because that's some history right there. Yeah. We don't know.
Well, actually, let's get into that. What's after this video? What is a promotion that you'd want to see more of?
Ooh,
because there's a lot. Because as you just mentioned, watch a lot of AW, watch a lot of Ring of Honor, watch a lot of Impact. Occasionally, we're watching WWE. We're watching a little bit more often than we used to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Took over.
Basically, since Triple H took over. Not maybe the weekly shows, but we do watch pay-per-views if we can.
Yeah. But like there's New Japan, there's Rev Pro. There's a lot. AAA.
I honestly I want to start consuming our locals. Like, I think we should watch some of that stuff too.
Local wrestling?
I think that would be cool, because then we'd have something to follow on to and then hopefully go to. But another one I want to watch, which I can at any time, but I haven't, is DPW. Yeah, the couple ones that I've seen, I did enjoy.
Okay.
I thought some of their characters were kind of off the wall, but I like that sometimes.
Off the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can get off the wall. I like it. I haven't seen the newer set. I saw the original set that came out when Drew Byrne first introduced it to us.
Yep.
And then I watched the second set before he watched it. But I don't know where he's at, and I haven't watched anything after that.
I have no idea where he's at either. Yeah. But that one comes to mind just because it's basically pick up your phone and watch. It's not like you don't got to jump through hoops to watch it. So.
NWA is also like that now.
Yeah.
Because they're back on YouTube.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
because I do enjoy NWA. I like some of the wrestlers.
And there's a wrestler on there that you know of that's wrestling for them now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Bully Ray.
Really?
Bully Ray is wrestling for them right now.
Oh man.
They are currently at this time. I don't know how many episodes they're in. They're doing the championship series, which I think you'd like because you like basketball and different sports, and so
Yeah.
this is a more kind of a tournament, but it's more sports like oriented,
Sure.
where you're trying to pick up different wins. It's like a draft league essentially.
Oh, okay.
That's what they're doing. So
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I wonder if that is a thing.
yeah, well they have it, so we'll look into it.
That'd be cool. Get everybody to do it because then you don't really have to track it.
Yeah.
Like, well, if you wanted, but
Yeah.
depends how they do it. That could be cool.
Who is a wrestler that you want to see more of?
More?
Yeah.
Ooh. So one person that I think is getting the push, they'll probably go to the moon if they stay healthy. I do genuinely enjoy Top Flight.
Top Flight? Okay.
I can't remember the brother's name because he's always hurt.
Darius and Dante Martin.
Yeah.
I think Darius is the one that's always hurt.
Yeah, Dante's sick.
Yeah.
Dante's dope. He's gonna definitely be something.
Yeah.
He reminds me of like Ricochet and Osprey in a way, like
Yeah.
just the not necessarily just the flippy shit, but like the way that they carry themselves, and you know what I mean, like that type of mannerism. But I really do enjoy Dante Martin a lot. Another person I genuinely like and want to see more, Eric Young. I've liked Eric Young since the beginning, and with him bringing Violent by Design, I know they recently split up, but
Sort of. They kicked him out.
yeah, so he's not in his crew that he made.
Yeah.
But still, I think that you give him a mic, yeah, he sounds like he smokes a pack a day, but he'll make magic.
Yeah.
He'll make magic with what he's got. So I would love to see him maybe cross promotion. Who knows, maybe in NWA or a Ring of Honor. I don't think he'll go to AEW. I don't think they'll take him because they just got Jeff Jarrett, and I'm sure Jeff Jarrett's eating a hole in their wallets.
Yeah, probably.
But hey, the man can go still.
Yeah,
he can still go. But God, I don't like him.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of Jeff Jarrett, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not a billionaire with money.
I don't know.
Not yet.
I just don't see. I don't know. I had that discussion with Jabrim recently too. He was like, "Oh, well, like Jarrett, he can still go and all this other stuff." I was like, "Well, think about his wrestling style. He's always been really technical. He don't really go flying much. You know, I mean, maybe an elbow here and there, but very rarely did he ever do anything risky.
Yeah.
But he was also so sound and technical that type of wrestling doesn't really age. You know, like you could do it well into your 40s, even 50s. You know.
Correct.
So.
I don't know.
It doesn't surprise me.
If you ever saw, we didn't really watch much of NXT UK, but the GM for NXT UK was Johnny Saint.
Cool.
Johnny Saint's a big time legend in UK wrestling, and the man's old, like very old, like he is well into his
McMahon.
Older than McMahon.
Oh man, he's old.
He's old. And so, but that man, if he tried, he could go. When they're showing him as the GM for it, he's running the ropes.
Wow.
In the video. Yeah.
Wow.
So the man can go, and this because of his style of wrestling, because he's very technical. He also wrestled in an age where it was very much, very, very grapple based.
Yeah, brute strength, muscling people down.
Yeah. And there's some videos that
the carny type wrestling, right?
Pretty much,
yeah. Like the first iteration of like a wrestler.
Yep, and then something you may not know, but
Canadian style wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah.
But British wrestling was done like boxing. There's rounds to it.
Oh.
Yeah.
That I didn't know.
Yep, there's rounds to it, and it was depending on promotions, anywhere between 3 to 12 rounds.
Oh.
And so they would grapple each other.
That's cool.
Yeah. We'll watch some of this stuff because there's a lot of guys that you might recognize from there.
I bet.
So
I didn't know there was rounds. That's cool.
Yeah. All right. Next question. What are your thoughts on women's wrestling? We did a video on this, but
yeah, I'm very peculiar. But it's not just women that I'm like this with. I can't stand when you botch over and over and over. Or when they don't sell it. Like when they Irish whip and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, they could have just ran that way themselves. You did not even have to do what you just did.
Yeah.
Like that type of stuff bothers me. And I feel like, I don't know. It comes down to a style of maybe it's technical wrestling. I don't know. But I do like when they're physical and not just kind of putting on the show.
Sure.
Like there has to be some sort of like, I guess you got to try.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just like
you want to see the effort, not just the motion.
Exactly. I don't want to see the steps. I don't want to see you counting. You know, like I want you to put your balls into it. You know what I mean? Like I want to see some wrestling. And sometimes with women's wrestling, they just don't have the power, I think, or just sometimes there's a little bit less than what the guys can do, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, that's physical, that's anatomy, that's nothing against them. Now, that's not saying I don't like women wrestling. I do have women wrestlers that I like Mandy Rose, Charlotte Flair. I like Charlotte Flair because she puts her fucking balls into it.
She does.
I can't say anything about that.
Okay.
You know, it's that style of wrestling. Like throwing it back to like what's her face? The Virtuosa.
Oh, Deanna Purrazzo.
Very technical. Yeah. Doesn't botch. Gets down and dirty.
Yeah.
Like that's the shit I like.
Okay.
But it's like I said, some people do it better than others. And it's like I've evolved out of just a blonde ditzy person, you know, like I'm out of the diva phase. Like you can't just be hot, not do nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You gotta
wrestle.
Yeah.
Get in there and put them on their back.
Okay. All right. Let's play a little game.
All right.
I'm gonna throw out wrestlers. We're a little word associated. I'm gonna throw out a wrestler's name, and you say the first thing that comes out.
All right.
That comes out. All right. Ready?
Yep.
All right. Walter.
Slap.
Ricochet.
Bouncy.
Will Ospreay.
Coat.
Coat?
Yeah, he wears that big ass
coat.
Oh
yeah. It's Versace. Mankind.
Mask.
Shingo Takagi.
Mushrooms.
The Rock.
Can you smell?
Okada.
Rainmaker.
Maven.
Raven.
La Parca.
Unfortunate.
MJF.
Salt.
Cody Rhodes.
Dumb tattoo.
Kylie Ray.
Smiley face.
Angelina Love.
Unfortunate.
Hornswoggle.
Best friend.
Ron Simmons.
Damn.
There we go. All right, that's what I want. All right. Well, I think that does it for this video. Is there anything else you want to say?
All I could say is like, share, subscribe, follow us on our Facebook and our Instagram and our TikTok.
Yes. We don't post much on there, but
it's okay.
We have stuff on there.
When we get some followers, maybe we'll post.
Yeah, we could do it more often if we have more followers.
That's true. I am not on this TikTok space, so
yeah.
But it's okay. But yeah, I enjoyed you having me. We'll definitely have to get more.
We'll have to get more people.
More stuff. Yeah, more people, and I like that little game at the end. I think that's a good thing.
Yes. It was just different.
It was tight. I liked it.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed Tyler's answers and getting to know him as a fellow Mark.
Inside my brain.
Inside the brain. Inside the ropes. Yeah, thank you. Like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know what you guess we should have.
Yeah, maybe you have more questions for me to answer. Who knows?